Well, yes. Hi, Kay. Yes, it's awful news that I've just been told. Yes, Ms Cox is a newish MP. She was most well known for her campaigning work on the humanitarian crisis in Syria. She had co-authored with a Conservative MP, the ex-Development Secretary, Andrew Mitchell, an article saying that there should be other third-way options to try and deal with the humanitarian crisis in Syria. And I think, as I recall, she ended up abstaining on that vote that split the Labour Party so much. She was one of the people that nominated Jeremy Corbyn as a leadership candidate too, but I think her background is in campaigning for Oxfam, for development charities. That is her main policy area, but she was a popular MP. She got stuck in I saw her just a couple of weeks ago when she was part of the women's team in the parliamentary charity tug of war, I think it was. Very popular, very thoughtful, highly intelligent, and I hope she's okay.
Let's bring in Beth Rigby, should we? Beth, what more do we know?
Hi there, Kay. We don't know very much at the moment. I just spoke to someone in the Labour shadow cabinet who said that they had texted Rosie Winterton, who is the chief whip in Labour, to see if Jo was okay. This is a good friend of Jo's. And the text back was, "It's serious," but we don't know yet how serious or whether Jo is okay or not. She's a new MP. She's a mother of two, Kay. She's got two young children. She's in her late 30s. She's a women's campaigner. She's an anti-slavery campaigner and a very, very popular and well-liked MP who's made a great start in Westminster. So as soon as we know more, we'll bring it to you. But at the moment, from the Whip's office, certainly, Rosie Winterton apparently telling some of her colleagues that it's serious, but we don't know at the moment how serious it is.
We were talking a little bit earlier on, Beth, about surgeries. As far as MPs are concerned, we saw what happened with Stephen Timms back in 2010. But these surgeries, they're held regularly, aren't they, by the 650-odd MPs up and down the country?
Exactly. MPs break up from the House of Commons on a Thursday and they all go back to their constituencies. And they actually work really hard, back to back all day on a Friday, doing surgeries. Obviously, Jo is back. Parliament broke up yesterday because of the referendum case. So MPs have left Westminster, and she obviously was doing some work in the constituency, and something really awful has happened, and we just hope that she'll be okay.
Just hearing from John Mann MP, he has just tweeted to say, appalling news about the attack on Jo Cox in her constituency. Here's hoping she is okay from me and all my constituents. I'm not sure if Faisal is still with us. Faisal, so we're hearing there from the Chief Whip that it does look as though this is serious.
Yes, you can see from the response from fellow Labour MPs that it is a serious incident. As I said, I'm currently travelling with the Leave campaign, who have been campaigning vigorously, obviously ahead of the EU referendum. But these things pale into insignificance, don't they, when you hear about an incident like this? As I said, she's well known and well liked for her campaigning on humanitarian issues, in particular the humanitarian crisis in Syria. Who knows how something as absurd as this occurs, and I'm sure everybody in the Westminster Village is hoping that she's well.
Indeed, and in the wider country, I'm sure as well, particularly her constituencies. Just tuning our way, you can see there to the left of your image, that is Jo Cox. She's a young MP and she has been shot outside her regular surgery in her constituency. What more do we know, Richard Suchet?
Well, we know, and you can see there on the right-hand side of your screen, that there is a major operation underway by the emergency services. 2 people involved in what we're told is a shooting and a stabbing of a woman outside Birstall Library in West Yorkshire, and we understand now that that person is the MP Jo Cox. She is a member of Parliament for the constituency of Batley and Spen, which she won She won that seat in the general election in 2015. She lives in that area, and it is likely that she was holding her regular constituency meeting, her surgery, at that library. There is a school nearby. It's not clear at the moment whether the pupils of that school will be allowed home, but as you've been hearing the last few minutes, this is being described as serious. We don't know exactly what her condition is, but we do know that the condition is serious. She has 2 young children. She's in her 30s. And in terms of her politics, well, she's an anti-slavery campaigner, and she has launched the all-party parliamentary Friends of Syria group, and she did write an article arguing that British military forces could help achieve an ethical solution to the conflict in Syria. Of course, we don't know whether her political views have anything to do with this. She may just be in the wrong place at the wrong time, but it is worth reminding people of what happened to Stephen Timms back in 2010. He was stabbed in the stomach during his regular surgery by a woman who was angry about his support for the war in Iraq. So there's a huge amount we don't know at the moment, but we're talking about a very serious situation in which an MP appears to have been stabbed.
Yeah, we're hearing that she's been airlifted to hospital, and Beth Rigby telling us, Beth, that her condition, according to Labour sources, is said to be serious.
Yes, Kay. I spoke to one member of the Shadow Cabinet who said that Rosie Winterton, the Chief Whip, has obviously been having lots and lots of texts.
Beth, let me interrupt you for just a second, if I may. I want to bring in an eyewitness, Hisham Bren Abdallah. Hello to you, Hisham. I believe that you saw what happened.
How are you? All right?
We're okay, obviously, but we're very worried about what's happened to Jo Cox. What did you see?
Well, I saw people rushing down the road towards the library. I came out with a couple of people from the restaurant to see what's happening. And we saw a man wearing like a dirty white baseball cap with a grey, I don't know, a small jacket or something, short jacket, and start jostling with somebody. I couldn't see Kate. I could see somebody, which he's the owner of a dry cleaner shop, a bearded guy. He was the hero of the scene. He absolutely jostled with him and everything. And all of a sudden, this guy pulled the gun. The baseball guy, the guy who was wearing the baseball cap, pulled the gun and tried to sort of like cock it up. It looks like a gun from, I don't know, First World War, or a makeshift gun, handmade gun. It's not sort of like the usual gun that you see normally. He fired the first shot, then, I ran away, from it, as everybody else did, inside, and all of a sudden we heard the second shot. So obviously, we remained in the restaurant for a couple of minutes, and then we decided to venture out and see what has happened, and then we went on the sea. All I can see is, at first I didn't recognize her, that she was Jo. A lady was on the floor, her face bleeding, her hair roughed up, as if she's been pulled off her hair. And she was sort of like, her legs was in a triangle way, as if somebody sort of like on a bed when he lifts his legs in a triangle way, pyramidic way. So she was like that, leaning a little bit on the left side, with her hair tilted at the back. Her head, tilted at the back. Everybody, the hysteria described to you, everybody was crying. The women, I'm absolutely shocked, to be quite honest, because I know Jo very well, and we did the campaign, for Labour councillor, last month, and absolutely it's devastating.
What condition would you say she was in, Hisham? Where was she shot?
She was shot between two cars, on the near the pavement, on the road.
And whereabouts was she? Whereabouts did the bullets enter her? Would you say,
No,
Hisham?
but I don't know. I don't know. I really can't tell you.
Was she still conscious when you
The
saw her?
paramedic- I presume she is because she hasn't. Or she's leaning on her hand. I presume she was still injured at that time. She looked as though she's still breathing, and she's still alive. I presume she's still alive. Yes.
Yeah, we believe that she is still alive, although it has been described as a condition as serious. I just wondered if you could maybe tell us anything more, Hisham, about the person that looks to have carried out this attack.
The person, he looks like he's in his 60, perhaps maybe 65, 70, something like that. I think Jo, I presume she had her surgery at the library, and probably this guy had a feud with her or something, and he tried to sort of like retaliate, and like he did in a very terroristic way.
And what happened to this man, do you know?
This man actually, walked off very, very coolly, very slowly towards Tesco down the steps and disappeared.
How long did
no one dares sort of like stop him. That's what I have been told.
And how long did it take the emergency services to get there?
The emergency there, probably 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, like that. With the helicopter, hovering overhead, and the police came straight away, almost straight away. Just a normal, providing the rush hour, 1 o'clock. That's when the incident happened, 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, 1:05, between 1 and 1:05.
Okay, thanks very much indeed, Hisham, for updating us. We do appreciate you taking the time. Thanks very much indeed. Beth, you've got an update for us?
I have, Kay. I've just had an exchange with another of the 2015 intake of Labour MPs, one of Jo's friends, who's texted me to say that he's been told that she's in a critical condition, and he says that they're not sure she'll make it. So, Kay, that's just one text from one MP. Obviously, there's lots of conversations going on between the whips and MPs and her colleagues and friends. But that is quite worrying. Obviously, someone else told me earlier that it was serious. Just hope that she will pull through. As I said, she's got two young kids. She did tell Sky News, one of my colleagues, in a conversation recently, that she does get lots of threats because of her outspoken remarks about Jeremy Corbyn. She was one of the 36 Labour MPs, Kay, who nominated Jeremy Corbyn as a candidate in the Labour leadership election last year, but then she voted for the Blairite candidate Liz Kendall, and she publicly wrote an article saying how much she had regretted nominating Jeremy Corbyn. So we have no idea what the motive was for this awful attack. All I can tell you is that my Labour sources are telling me that they are hearing that Jo Cox is in a critical condition.
Okay, thanks. Let's bring in Emma Burnell on the executive as a Labour Women's Network. Emma, my goodness, thoughts very much with her family at this incredibly challenging time. We believe that she is in a critical condition.
I mean, I've just heard that from you guys. I'm not getting any sort of additional news, but yeah, obviously all we can do is just send her all our thoughts and love and hope and prayers, and just hope that she pulls through.
Talk to us about Jo. She was part of the 2015 intake, I believe. Sounds from all accounts like she's a bit of a character.
Yeah, absolutely. She was the chair of the Labour Women's Network when I was first elected to its executive, and I mean, she's your sort of classic Yorkshire